Hi everyone, it's Clyde Vibrant Soap, and this is another soap in the Hawaii theme series. And this one is really a fond memory of mine too. I have to go way back in time. I must have been about 5 years old when we visited my grandparents, and they lived on the edge of a sugarcane plantation. And as far as you could see, there was a sea of sugarcane. And those times are gone. Those fields are gone, and they've been gone for a long time. There's a highway and homes all in that area right now, but it was on the north side of Oahu, and I'll never forget it. But this fragrance that I found to make this soap is a combination of sugar cane and bamboo. And on the island of Maui, there's a beautiful bamboo forest called Haleakala National Forest, and it's beautiful. And although bamboo is not indigenous to Hawaii, there's a type of bamboo that they call Hawaiian bamboo, and it's got a gold in the cane as well. So I looked at that as my inspiration to make this bamboo-like soap, and that gave me the excuse to put a little bit of orange with the green. So let me show you how I made that, and let's get started right now. Okay, so it's going to be a pretty large batch, and this is only part one of making the soap, because I want to make a base that sets up a little bit first. So I'm going to do 2 different batches, and I'm going to mix my kaolin clay and oils. And I want this to be a bright, light turquoise for the background, just a flat one color pour. And I'm soaping at about 73 degrees. Get the lye in there. They're going to be the smaller soaps in the slab mold, but I want them to be a hefty weight, so I'm making them very thick. Let's stir that. It's the first time I'm making soap with this fragrance oil. It smells amazing. I had no idea when I ordered it what it would smell like, but it's bamboo sugarcane fragrance. So it says it's not going to accelerate, but I'm always very cautious. Okay, so let's get the fragrance oil in there. Stir that around. And get my turquoise color in there. I really want to see what that does before I add the titanium dioxide. And I think I do want it a little bit more teal, so then it goes in there. Notice the yellowness of the soap batter makes it a little more green. And then I'll add my titanium dioxide. So turquoise has green in it already, but I want to get a little bit more blue. So far the fragrance is really behaving itself. And let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of Stephanie's Luster Blue in there because it's still too much on the green side. just what it needed, but I think it needs a little more. I love that luster blue. Okay, so that's a lot of blending, but I think that's great. I put some wax paper around the edges of this because the next step is going to be a little messy. Let's get this poured in there. I want all this in there too. And I don't mind a little bit of lateral movement this way, but really slight. And this will help some more of those surface bubbles to pop. Yeah, this is really behaving itself. Okay, we're going to put this aside. Let's put that right over there while I get the rest of my soap. So as not to confuse the first part of this batch, I have everything on this tray for the second part. So I'll bring you right back after I reheat some of the oils. Okay, I'm also going to soak this part about 73 degrees, maybe a little warmer, just because my lye was really slow to cool down. Now smaller batches accelerate a little bit more quickly because it gets all agitated pretty quickly. Get my fragrance oil in there. It's already at a light trace, so I'm going to pour these. Just want a little bit of each color, so I have smaller cups than usual. And I'm going to pour the extra in some extra molds that I have, and use my frother to blend these. Pretty much the colors I planned for. And I looked at pictures of bamboo groves, especially the one on the island of Maui. And there's a particular grove of bamboo forest there that has some more colorful bark of bamboo that has that orange in it, so I wanted to include that. Okay, so I want this at the right thickness, so I'm going to take a chopstick just to test how thick that is. And the kind of avocado green there is going to turn to a nice light green. I think I'm going to blend these a little more. I want it a little more thick. Okay, let's bring the mold back. It's turned a little bit more matte because it's been setting up, but it's still soft underneath, so I want it that way so that this soap will stick really well to it. I'm going to make a little point to my cup so I can do these little vertical, what will become vertical lines kinds of soap. And go for this deeper green. Actually made too much of these little bits of color because I want that light blue to shine through as well. Get these ends a little bit. And last but not least, this little bit of orange. Go back with one of the greens, maybe the light green. That's about it. I've got to get my dividers. Okay then, so let me push this aside. I don't want to waste all this soap. Get into a small mold, little brambleberry. And I'm just going to pour all this in here. I'm going to speed through these pouring parts because that's kind of boring, isn't it? I'll bring you back for the swirl and pour. Okay, so let's just stir that up a little bit. Pour it in this mold. That'll be a nice bit of sample soaps right there, and one for me to try. So not quite double the amount of things to wash with two little batches here. So let's bring this back, take a look at it, and then bring you back for the unmolding. Okay, let's unmold this. I really love the scent. I want something different. You know, we all want to have some variety, not do the same thing all the time. But I think it's also important to have a signature brand, so you have something distinct in your soaps. And I give that a lot of thought when I was starting my business. And coming from an artist background, I wanted the focus to be on color. And being a cook as well, I wanted the ingredients to be good and to make good soap. So hopefully, even though I have variety to my repertoire of soap making, that I have some kind of character that represents my company and soap as well. I try to do that with my artwork as well. So in this case, one of the differences is not to really over swirl, but to just leave the trailings of soap as the design. So let's unmold this. These are thicker bars. Let me pick this up. Alright, there we go. Sliding it up. That sheen. Yeah, love how they came out. And get this really slick surface, and it comes out really easily. I would think that using the sodium lactate, it's a type of salt, which basically soap bars are anyway, it really helps them to be a harder bar, and it comes out of the molds really cleanly. In this case, there's so much surface area because they're a thicker bar. It has more to just kind of adhere to, but they still come out nice and clean. And it helps to talk to them. Come on, baby. We'll talk a little bit about these bamboo forests and how sustainable the wood or the stock of this plant really is. It grows so quickly. And you're seeing more and more products made from bamboo too. Bamboo flooring. It's been used for a long time, but we're discovering its benefits more and more. Wow, so slick. So I poured this in lines so that it would replicate walking through a bamboo or sugarcane forest. And I have fond memories of where my grandparents lived in the north part of Oahu. And in those times when I was a kid, as far as you could see cane fields and pineapple fields. But that has disappeared. But I find it interesting that this fragrance is a blend of bamboo, a kind of green scent, and the sweetness of sugarcane without being overly sweet. It's a really nice fragrance. But the plants have a similarity in that they grow similarly like a grass, which I think they both are. They're a type of grass. So if you've ever picked some fresh grass and put one end in your mouth, you could taste the sweetness of the grass juice. And sugarcane, of course, has a lot of that sweetness in it. I've never been into bamboo. The pandas sure like it. So as you can see, these are dimensions like this are pretty small, but by the time you take into account the thickness of the bar, it's a nice weighty bar. Are you going to come out for me? Let's take this out. You know what? Let me turn this around and grab the bars on the end first. Just takes time. You got to be patient so you don't disturb the soap. Just slide it off. And I will be beveling the corners. It's a really firm, hard bar. And the corners are sharp. One of the reasons for beveling the soap bars is so it just kind of feels better in the hand.
but it also helps with the aesthetics of the bars itself. But it's a really hard bar, so ouch. So it could even, no, it can't cut you. It's a nice sharp edge. And just like any other decisions I've made with my brand, I want it to look polished, so I do beveled bamboo. So this bamboo forest that's pretty famous on the island of Maui is known for a type of bamboo that has a little more color to it. So I looked at pictures of that and I noticed that there was a kind of orangey color to them, so I added this bit of orange color. If you tuned in a long time ago, I had a soap called the Rainbow Bamboo soap. I'll take that back. It was a rainbow eucalyptus. And similar to this, it had a lot of color in the bark of the trees. And we have some growing in San Diego that I sometimes go and visit just because certain times of the year, the outer layers of the bark peels back, revealing all kinds of colors, including like blues, oranges, reds, purples, greens. It's a beautiful tree. It's just a little bit of texture. So I know what I wanted. I didn't want one that was similar to the other soaps where there's a lot of texture, but I wanted some. So pouring that first base and leaving it till it's set up for a real flat surface really helped. And the last bits of the pour were what I wanted to stand out, like the stalks of bamboo or sugarcane. And the first thing that went through my mind in designing this was, how am I going to get vertical stripes in the soap? So I turned to my old slab mold to do that. So thanks for watching. Let you look at this bar. I've enjoyed this series. I think I have maybe one more to go in this Hawaii themed soaps. And because obviously I got the fragrance of this finally. It was worth waiting for. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for all of what you give back to me with your comments and subscriptions, tuning into my Instagram, and of course, buying my soaps on the vibrantsoap.com channel. Not channel, but website. And that really helps me continuing to make soaps and videos for you. And it's good to see you out there. Otherwise, I don't know that there's an audience out there listening to all this. So take care, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye, everybody. So I'm back. I want to show you the leftover soap that I poured. I didn't want to waste. Let's see what that looks like. I just put all the colors in there together and stirred it up a bit. Get some interesting swirls. And I'll be using this as some samples in orders. The great thing to do with that is if you're curious about fragrances, these little samples can also be a good tester for you. I would maybe not have thought of ordering this fragrance had I not done the Hawaii themed soaps, but I'm glad I did. I just found another great smelling fragrance that really behaves itself too.
And one last cut. And thanks again for watching. See you for the next video. Bye everybody.